Hello again, my friends. It's the Cranky Yankee here with another video. And this, I will say, video I'm about to make. One of the luxuries I have with A, having such a small subscriber count currently, and B, not being monetized means I can talk about anything that I want. Because what I'm about to talk to is currently being demonetized on YouTube. So anybody who's talking about this, who's making videos about this, cannot get paid for it. I don't get paid anyways, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. Not really, but essentially I can say whatever the hell I want and not have to worry about getting demonetized. Because I'm not monetized in the first place. I want to talk about the coronavirus. Something everybody's talking about. Very, very terrible thing. Just listen to a podcast from the hockey guy, and he was talking about it a little bit, and talking about how, there's, I know the IIHF is talking about how they may want to close the U18 tournament this year, the World Junior Under 18 tournament, which, I think it's fair. It's a slippery slope, but it's going to open a can of worms when all these big sporting events and concerts and whatnot start getting canceled or postponed because of the virus. But here's a different perspective I want to present to you. Now, a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, it's only got a 3.4% fatality rate. It's not that bad. The regular flu kills more people in a year than this is killed, and blah, 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 blah. Here are some facts. I don't have the numbers currently of infected and killed and blah, 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 blah. I know that it's like 14, I think. Last I checked, it was 14 deaths in the United States, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not. But there's 14 people today that are dead today that would still be alive if not been for the coronavirus. The average flu that we all suffer through every year on an annual basis has a mortality rate of about 0.1%. 0.1. That means that out of every 1,000 people that get it, only one person dies. I think that's the right math. Of one person for every 1,000 who get infected. Now, to compare that to the coronavirus, for every 1,000 people that are infected with the coronavirus, approximately 34 will die. It's 34 times more deadly than your average flu. That sounds scary, right? Well, it is. The fortunate thing for the majority of the population is that it's not going to kill you. You'll probably be sick for a bit, and then you'll get better. Just like any other flu. The difference with this one is that those that the flu normally kills are more likely to die with the coronavirus. Like, the people that are most at risk from dying from the flu are elderly people, very young children, and those people, children or adult otherwise, who have compromised immune systems. Now, a compromised immune system could be anything. If you're on chemo, you have a compromised immune system because the chemotherapy is killing your white blood cells. It's killing all of the cells in your body. If you have an autoimmune deficiency, not necessarily AIDS. AIDS is an autoimmune deficiency. That's what AIDS stands for, is autoimmune deficiency syndrome, I think, or something like that. But if you have an AID, an autoimmune deficiency, which my son has, because he was preemie, he's got breathing issues because he has preemie lung disease. He's got a tracheostomy. He's got a G-tube. My son, my 4-year-old, beautiful, lovely, happy, amazing child that you guys, most of you are familiar with because he's on the channel on a fairly regular basis, is highly at risk of this virus. Found out today, Santa Rosa County, the next county over from the one that I live in Florida, have our first confirmed case of coronavirus in Santa Rosa County. Santa Rosa County is about a 15-minute drive from here. It's closer than Burlington was to where I lived. Brad, you Washies, I know you know what I mean. 15 minutes, bro? That's like you driving to that's closer than you driving to school in high school. Because I know where you live and I know how long it took you to drive from your house to school. Probably about 30, 40 minutes to get from your house to school every day when we went to high school together. Yeah, where this was about half as far as that was, which is crazy. But there's a very, very simple thing that we can all do to prevent the spread of this virus. Now, it's very, very contagious. First of all, supposedly, you can transfer it to your dog, which is interesting, because there's not very many, diseases and sicknesses that we know of that humans contract that can also be cross-contracted to other animal species. There are a few that we get from animals that come to us. Swine flu, mad cow disease, the avian virus, H1N1. I think H1N1 was swine flu, wasn't it? But anyways, so there are viruses that can be transferred from animals to humans. But I don't know though I've heard of a whole lot that can be transferred from humans to animals. It doesn't generally go that way. I mean, obviously it's possible. It's just kind of interesting. It also has a 3-hour incubation period. 3 hours. You can wake up in the morning and not have it. By lunch, you could have it, not know it. By dinner, you could have affected 100 people. 3 days later, you'll start to have symptoms. By that time, who knows how many thousands or even 10,000s of people you've infected without even realizing it. That's scary. Thank God this isn't as bad as it could be. Because it's highly, highly contagious. That's the scariest part of this. Is because it's not the highest mortality rate of anything that's happened. The Spanish flu was far, far more deadly. But not in any way, shape, or form as contagious. I believe the Spanish flu was spread through contact with, I forget exactly. I'm not even going to go into that because I don't exactly remember how it was. The Black Plague, also way more deadly, but less contagious because it was generally spread through rats and spoiled food. Well, not necessarily spoiled food, but rodent fecal matter, basically rat poop, that would get in bread and different foodstuffs and stuff, because back then when it happened in the medieval times, there wasn't really very good, policies on how you keep food and keep food good. So generally, it was very easy for rats to get in there and eat stuff and poop all over everything, because that's what rats do. And therefore, people would eat that food without realizing, or not, or just brush it off or whatever, because it was the medieval times. Probably just said, "Oh, figure we'll just cut that part off, or we'll just dust it off, or wash it off real good, and we'll be fine." No, they didn't know about microbes. That's how it was. That's how it was spread. And that spread a lot because of the poor practices of the time. That wouldn't happen now. It wouldn't spread that way. I mean, I feel like that way would be far much easier to contain with that, because then you just make sure you're, throw out the damaged food and prevent against rats, and you're good for the most part. But the very simple thing that we can all do to do our part to help is wash your hands regularly. Not wearing a mask, because it's not really helping anything, to be honest. It's not. It can help you not get it from other people, but it's not going to help you not spread it. Because not to mention, most of those masks that you see that people wear, just the regular ones that go over your ears, those aren't airtight. You're coughing and stuff. Your coughing is coming out the side and the top and everything. You're still spreading that shit around. It's airborne. Right? So just think about that. Something simple as just washing your hands, every time you use the bathroom, before you eat, after you eat. Like, let's be clear, we should all be doing this anyways. We should all be washing our hands like this anyways. If you don't, did you grow up in a barn? No, I'm not even going to say that, because that's an insult to those of us that grew up on farms, i.e. myself. People's like, oh, would you, like the whole, to get off topic for a second, the whole saying of, you left the door open. Oh, what were you, raised in a barn? You left the door open. Anybody who says that doesn't know what it's like working on a farm, for instance, because you don't fucking leave the door open in a barn. Because you leave the door open, all the fucking animals are going to get out, and then you got to be up all fucking night getting the animals back into the barn. No one wants to do that. That's a waste of time. And you're not getting paid to chase cows. You get paid from the milk and the meat that you produce. Anytime that you're out chasing them around, you're not making money. Because they could be getting injured. They could blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's another thing. But anyways, we should all be washing our hands. None of the situation, just physically, actually, washing our hands on a regular basis. Every day. That's the biggest thing you can do to prevent this. Biggest thing. And nobody's talking about it. Well, they are now. But they're talking about how they're having hand washing classes in fucking school. The fuck kind of society we live in? We have to teach our kids how to have basic, proper fucking hygiene. This starts in the home. I've taught my son. You wash your hands after you use the bathroom. You wash your hands before you eat. You wash your hands after you eat. It's not fucking rocket surgery. Good fucking personal hygiene is all it's gonna take. You better believe my ass has been washing my hands constantly lately. Not to mention I work at a pool store and I'm constantly playing with water, so I'm always washing my hands to get the chemicals off my hands, the chlorine and all the other stuff that we put in pools. Also, apologize if I sound a little hoarse right now. My throat's been a little scratchy. We have the flu in our house. Not the coronavirus, at least I don't think. And I haven't said they are. I tested my son. My son doesn't. He has the rhinovirus, which is the normal flu. So we have the normal flu in my house. So us getting the coronavirus, that's another thing that scares me is that, for one thing, I'm a carrier. I'm a person that I rarely get sick, but I almost always carry sickness. I'm the guy that will be all up and down infected with some kind of flu or cold, and I don't feel a damn thing. No sniffles, no kind of blah, blah, blah. Like what you see right now, this is me sick. I got a bit of a scratchy throat. My nose is a little runny and a little stuffy, but other than that, I'm good. It doesn't slow me down. I just push on through it. Because one, I don't like the doctor. I don't like going to the hospital. So unless I'm inches from death, I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to go about business, I'm going to go about my day business as usual. But having a kid like Gideon, and having him be, vulnerable, immunodeficiency-wise, really, sorry, my pinky was hurting when I was bouncing on my hand. It really concerns me. And I really, it makes me adamant to be good at hand washing and all this stuff because, that's the biggest thing we can do to help prevent the spread of this horrible virus. Is it going to end the world? No, probably not. But it is going to kill a lot of people. It's already killed a lot of people, and it's going to continue to kill a lot of people. I'm not going to speculate on where it came from because I know there's several rumors out there that I've read about. There's two that are my favorites. One I think is a complete I don't think that it holds any water. The other one, makes sense, but it's pretty high up on the tinfoil hat scale. But it kind of makes sense. And when you look at the facts and you look at the evidence, it suggests that it's pretty plausible that could be it. But that's for another video. If you guys do want to hear my theory about where the coronavirus came from, believe me, let me know in the comment section below and I'd be glad to share it with you. I have a lot of really crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theories that I think about on a daily basis. I'm a big conspiracy theorist, but I keep that to myself because I don't necessarily want this channel to be about that. Because then I get fact-checked and then I get embarrassed because I don't always know as much as I think I do, which is why I keep it to myself. Except when it comes to hockey. Hockey, it's my favorite thing in the world. I love hockey. It's one of my favorite things in the world to talk about. Love to talk about hockey. Love to talk about music. Love to talk about guitars. Those are three things that I also really like to talk about fishing and outdoor stuff too. Also, side note, something I learned today, which will feature on the channel in the future. I learned that in Florida, for freshwater fishing, if you are not using a mechanical reel, you do not need a fishing license. So anybody of you who have ever heard of hand lining, which is something that I haven't done in a very long time. I've done it before, but I haven't done it in a while. You can hand line legally in the state of Florida without having a fishing license. The only way you need to have a license is if you're shore fishing. And the cool thing about shore fishing is that you don't even have to pay for the license. You just have to have one. It's free. They, like, for some reason, they got away with the fee for a while when the oil spill happened in the Gulf of Mexico, and then they're going to be bringing it back. It's pretty soon, but for the time being, it's free, so you just go down and get it. You just have to be registered. You don't have to pay for it. And I think, like, to fish the pier, like surf fishing is like $7.50 or something. So it's not, you're 17 something, but it's like $17. It's still cheap to have a fishing license in Florida. It's not that bad. If you have a boat, I guess it's more, but that makes sense. But yeah, that's really cool. So if you guys want to see something like that, like maybe some Mountain Dew bottle fishing, that'll be something I could teach y'all to do. Or hand lining, or even bamboo pole fishing, because you can do that. I've never done that before, but apparently you can just get a big old twig and tie some string on the end of that, and bada bing, bada boom, you can fish with that and not have a fishing license. So I think it'd be really interesting to do that, because I'm also kind of into the survivalistic stuff, and you know, First Nation technologies, the way the Native Americans did it, and just, I'm really cool. I'm really into, like, having a problem and then solving it yourself, and solving it with the resources at your disposal, even if you don't really have all the resources that you think would be needed for such a thing. But that could be something in the future as well. If you guys like that idea, let me know in the comment section below if it's something you'd be interested in watching. But anyways, I'm going to be going now. That's it for me. It's been going on 15-minute video. I tried to make it a little shorter, but this one ain't bad. 50 minutes ain't terrible. But that's it for me, guys. I'm the Cranky Yankee, and in summary, wash your hands, please, for the sake of my son. For all of you that are familiar with Gideon and love him just as much as I do, for the sake of him, wash your hands. Even if you're not in Florida, wash your hands anyways, because, you know, you might kill your grandma. Do you really want to kill your grandma? Do you want to kill your sweet, loving old grandma? Do you really want that to happen? No, you don't want to have that on your conscience. Wash your hands, for grandma's sake. I love y'all. Have a great day. I'm the Cranky Yankee, and we'll see you in the next one.